going on? You, two, four. Michael under a Snuggie. Vincenzo. Steve. IRP. Like the Kmart Blue Light Special, 199, episode 199. Ryan of RBICRU7 will be on later in about an hour-ish or so. Neil will not. Vacation again.
No, he just likes to stand us up. He doesn't like us.
I told him that. I said, how nice. I think I said
Did you just say understandable, Michael?
I did.
But yet you're still here.
Well, I know people don't like me, so.
I was talking about us. But then again.
I'm adorable.
You're a what?
I'm adorable.
Yeah.
Said absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
Not even my own dogs or kids or anybody.
Well, C May.
Yeah, C. Dryden liked me. Ghosty did on occasion.
Of course, I could see C doing it more like an underhanded compliment, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're so adorable.
And put like a picture of a door on your forehead or something.
Yeah, her 13-year-old sarcasm is pretty much unmatched.
It only gets worse as they get older.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Figured I'd fair warn
you. Today during the practice with Naomi, I was cooking towards her because I was not a pleased person. Her pitching was not up to snuff, and I was like, what are you doing? This is utter horse shit. Like, I think I need a mental health day. I said, the fuck you do? We didn't practice yesterday, you fucking idiot. You, the only mental health you're going to get is when I fart in your fucking nose, and you're going to need some people helping you out there. That PTSD, that's what you're going to fucking have. You're doing your 6 strikeouts, or because I'll do that at like the end of the pitching, run it as like a simulated counter, a simulated game sort of situation. Tell her what the batter is, and try to do it just over the plate or by location, because it's easier that way instead of doing like, well, again, if you're a center cut fastball, guess what? That's probably going somewhere not in the catcher's mitt. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, there's like a hiccup in her wind up, and it just not a lot of fire on the ball, and I got fucking pissed. I'm like, I don't want to be out here either. I think Tristan, I know Trista did. She tested positive after that Zach Bryan concert in August with COVID again. So that's, I don't know. That's about our 14th time, I think, having it. Every version probably out there. I had something before because, I felt lethargic, but it was all up in my head. But I still feel like shit. And that's like, 3 weeks later? There's no energy. At work, I bust my ass for 2.5 hours. I take a break, and I'm just like, holy shit, I'm fucking drained. So I'm like, I don't want to be out here fucking catching. I'm doing it for you, not me. The payoff for me is seeing you get better. But if you're gonna do this shit, oh yeah, so it was about a 3-minute tirade of lots of X and FYs and HS and shit. I was and I said, you better fucking get your shit together, because tomorrow it's not gonna be fucking mental health days, or you're gonna be fucking running out here. And I'm gonna be having a mental health day of like relaxation, where I don't have to get hit in the shin or the fucking forearm with one of your errant pitches. So
are you still going to the cities?
We're going Sunday. Gonna see the new pitching or try this one out. See if it's a similar teaching or instructing skill. So I can't
So
wait
is
for that
that-
either.
So is that going to be the norm moving forward? If like it all goes well, it's going to be Sundays.
I told her it'd be like maybe a twice a month thing. So I'm like, I'm not going down every Sunday. That fucking kills time with pizza, and it fucking just I have no time then. I'm none.
Yeah, that's your day off. Like I get it. That's why I was asking the question, because it's like that completely
And it
screws
sucks.
up stuff.
It's just like fucking the next month is nothing but no weekends off again. This weekend doing that. The next weekend will be in Appleton. So I gotta fucking drive down there, drive back, drive around. She'll go with there, and I think I don't know what day, Saturday or Sunday. The Green Bay. They're not playing UMD again, but they're playing I think Oshkosh one day, and then a couple other colleges another day for softball. Probably go to that one of those times. The next weekend, like the 11th, 12th, whatever it is, that's Saturday. Back to the cities. Gophers host North Dakota State, and then Iowa State for softball, like the fall ball stuff. I've said it before, to integrate all the freshmen. Yep, hey, this is what we do in our program. Same with everything else sport wise. I mean, you come in, you got to know what you're getting into. So I really want to go down to that, have that plan, and then I think it's Thursday. They've got like it's like a teacher's sort of break week. I don't know if you guys have in any other states, but up here it's like MEA. I don't know if it's like Minnesota Educators. I don't know. But they're off, I think, Thursday and Friday. So Thursday will be like a regular Thursday for summer. Go down pitching lesson first, hitting lesson after. So it's just like time, money, 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 time, money. So I'm trying somewhere to find time with Trista in there, and it's just it's exhausting to think about, let alone actually do. So, and then with this whatever, she's had the same thing too, where Trista, where it's like the not feeling great, and feeling like lethargic, lightheaded, tired. Sometimes, yes, there's an appetite. Sometimes there's none. It's it's not long-term COVID or whatever it is. It sucks. It's just not fucking going away. You try to power through it because again, it's not like I feel like I've got the flu or something. It's just headache. Then my sinuses start fucking flaring up. But trying to do all that with that, and yeah, it's just first world problems.
Lack of sleep doesn't help you either, Dave.
I've got. I wanted to get a nap in today. That was, but again, then I kept finding stuff at work. I'm like, oh, I can get this out. I can do this. I know this can go up. This case that I've had for a little while that I just sort of got misordered or whatever, or came in as something else. Okay, that can go out. This can go out. It's like, fuck. So by the time I'm like, oh, I wanted to go by 11. 11 was 1. So
yeah, but again, historically, it's not like you get a whole lot of sleep as it is. So
That's
even
true.
if it's a sinus infection, a cold, or whatever, it's gonna fuck you up a little bit more because your immune system doesn't always get a chance to recharge because of the lack of sleep.
yeah, there's no. recharge. I mean, it's like plugging your phone in for like a half hour and then going again.
Unlike Michael, who goes to bed at like 9 o'clock.
I go to bed at 11 o'clock every night.
I was giving you shit.
I mean,
Only
I wish I could go to bed at 9 o'clock and sleep until my alarm. That would be amazing.
There's times I do. I mean, this last week at this time, no. It was fucking like 65, 70 overnight. Like, I can't sleep in that. That's bullshit weather. Fuck you. That's your guys' weather, not mine. And it's just like, get the fan in the window. It gets cool-ish. Where it's like, I just have that sheet on, and I'm like, this sucks. And then toss, turn, and finally fall asleep. But then noon, midnight, 1 o'clock, you're like, ooh, it's a little cooler. Luckily, I got that other slightly heavier blanket there. And that's nice, but then it's like, I just want to take a nap. You can't do that. You can't do that in that 85-degree weather when you don't have air conditioning. Which, again, up here, it's not like it's a necessity. Down in Texas, a little different. Same with Missouri. Middle of summer.
Missouri's not much different.
No, I mean, it's not like it's, oh man, we got a week of hot weather. It's like, no, we had like a week times 12 of hot weather, 16 of unbearable, uncomfortable weather. So, but yeah, in September, you don't expect that. You expect maybe a day. Okay, it's going to be like 75, 80. Yeah, good. But it'll still be like 60 at night. I'm like, I can deal with that.
It was 97 here Friday. Makes no damn sense. Now
we hit 100 one day last week.
It sucks.
It was July weather. Fucking July weather in the middle of September.
Yeah. Looking forward the next 10 days, we don't have a day above 77, and we're getting down in the 50s at night. So I'm hoping that means that fall is here. We're not going to have any more crazy flare-ups. Yeah, for the next...
We're low to mid-80s. Lows in the low 60s.
Yeah.
So, like you, I'm hoping that no more of this hot, spiky bullshit.
Yeah, we've had the windows open since actually Saturday. Because after that 97 ridiculous stuff on Friday, Saturday cooled off down into the 70s and rain came in. It was the perfect day to smoke some meat, so I did that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Which Trista showed me. She's like, Michael cooked this. I'm like, I know. He let me know. He let me know that morning. Like,
I was sending you the whole process.
Yeah, I know what was going on. We usually exchange that immediately.
Yeah, I was still eating on it last night.
I would have had to go to the place that catered your deal.
Belly Down.
I would have had to get the cheesy hash browns to go with it.
Yeah, those are pretty great.
Yeah, that was one I was almost tempted to just reach in the bag and just start fucking shoveling.
Yep.
Like
Then you stick your hand in it, turn it inside out, so you can eat all of it that's in there.
Yeah, lick the bag clean.
Yeah, if you make it down here this way again, you'll have to buy a bunch of it.
I know I'll have to
Buy
figure
it by
something.
pan.
I was gonna say cooler wise.
Yeah.
We've got several coolers. I don't know because I don't want to buy and I know they make everything stay cold with a Yeti. But I'm not spending $250 on a fucking goddamn cooler. That's
No, it's
absurd.
crazy.
So I've got dry ice sometimes I get on the freight, but even that, I mean, that would be a struggle to make it down, then back, and have to see if somebody down there had it.
Yeah.
Worked with it that way, but yeah, it's still food is so good. I love food.
You
Same.
don't say.
I mean,
You don't say.
if you watch this show for any amount of time,
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to cook anything this weekend or not. I think Alicia has something going on, but I don't remember. I just know that it doesn't involve me if there is something going on.
plus though too, that
It's a massive plus.
you can just heat up a pizza or something and be like, that good enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
And go, no, we've seen it already. Whatever, even if that Tyler Huntley comes in, the guy that was in Baltimore and sort of had some spot starts when Lamar was out, no. That's the one thing Miami's neglected to do, and surprisingly so, is have a fucking competent backup quarterback. A veteran. That would have been one where you say, hey, you know what, Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
We'll sign for 2 years, $20 million. To make sure we've got somebody behind Tua, because guess what? Tua gets hurt all the time.
There's
Yep.
grumblings about Russell Wilson.
And that I don't
There
get
is. It'd be a smart flip for Pittsburgh to do it.
Yeah, get something. I mean, just even if you get like a 5th-round pick,
Yeah.
you get something.
Well, he
And
signed
then-
for nothing. He's not going to be content to continue to be the backup.
I was gonna say, then you avoid a controversy there and any bullshit and
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
like you can kind of, and of course it's all the sports writers' way that they want to spin things, as we all know. But it seems as though like once he's quote unquote clear to play, he's expecting to be put into like the starting role.
Yep.
And like, no offense, if Fields is winning, you're not going to pull him.
No.
no.
It's just like you don't do that. So like,
Yeah, and Miami would be smart to give something for him. It doesn't have to be a lot, because one thing Russell can do is he can move around, and he's always had one of the best deep balls. So Waddle and Hill can go run underneath it.
he can still play at a high level. Is he the Russ of old? No. But it's one of those in which you need, like Dave said, you need somebody who's competent.
Yeah. You need a veteran who can step in and doesn't need to be like on a 15% of the playbook type thing.
Which that's what Skylar Thompson is. He just doesn't know. And and it's been 2-3 years. So guess what? That's not your guy.
Nope.
But you keep toting him out there, and well, you could have had Brady a few years ago, Orlando. How are you doing? But yeah,
the Brady's too messy right now.
Yeah.
Between the TV money, the Raiders ownership, and it'd be a mess for him to try to go play for somebody.
Yeah, just figure somebody else out. There's got to be somebody else out there. What I see somebody else was a Garoppolo. That was another one. Trade with the Rams, but again, you got to trade the Rams something because Stafford always gets hurt.
Yeah,
that's why they signed Garoppolo, because they're smart.
Yeah.
Fuck it, just bring back Kaepernick.
I'd like to see that because again, you want to have a story. There's your story. There's some news, but I'm getting to the point where that ship I think is pretty much sailed.
Yeah,
It was done 5 years ago.
Well,
without yeah, but even as recent as the last couple of years, his name was brought up, and
By him. By him and his people.
And supposedly he's stayed in shape and everything else, but again, like, you were drafted in 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's hope not, Paul.
I mean, that's 13 years. He's been out of the league for
half that time.
I was going to say, what, half of that? Like, could you even keep up with as fast paced as what it is now compared to what it was then? Like, because it's not even the same league now.
No,
it's way different now.
So, like, great, you stayed in shape. Okay, yeah, you may still be working out, slinging the ball, that type, whatever. That's great, but could you even step foot on a football field and compete?
No.
We would never know anyways. He's never going to be given a chance. Like, he's been blackballed. He's done. Yeah. Like, done. Like, never going to happen.
No matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen some of these guys getting brought out there and they're dog shit brutal, there's not a chance for him.
Yeah, he's hanging out with Trevor Bauer.
Right?
Hopefully not hanging out with Diddy.
No, I think it's past visiting hours right now.
I
watch some of that stuff over the weekend too, just because Trista had asked, "Do you hear anything?" I'm like, I heard, I saw the one thing in like April or March when they all went to his place in Florida and like raided it, or California, one of the two. She's like, you haven't heard it? I'm like, when is the time that I'm going to sit down and listen to this stuff? I just throwing it out there. When?
Yeah.
And so we watched a few things, and I'm like, huh, this is wild. But I'm like, I said that, and I think 97 or 98. Like, again, that dude only cares about himself because I've already pretty much raped the image of Notorious B.I.G. And after he died, it was, you're still making music with, and again, I get where you want to use the music, but it's like you're using it on your tracks with you. Paul, I wish I could waste that much time on there. No, all the shenanigans and fucking, oh my god, utter nonsense. You're on mute, Steve.
Dave spends his time perusing Instagram reels and sharing them while he's taking a dump. That's when he gets his half hour in.
Yeah, the people either like doing stupid skateboard shit and then fucking landing on their back, or like wrestling dumbness, or I don't think what else. Food. There's always food somewhere in there. But yeah, it's usually a rapid fire of those, and then dead silence for a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's, like, we all know Dave's shit schedule. When like 3+ reels get shared in our group Instagram chat, it's like, yep, it's that time of day for Dave, or evening, just kind of depends.
And then I don't even share anything with Michael because he always just told me, I've already seen that. I've already seen that. I saw that like 2 years ago. How the fuck did you see it 2 years ago? So I'm like, yeah. Unless it's something that I'm like, you know what? He doesn't. I haven't seen him like either like the page or it's like liked by this film not yet rated and others. I'm like, okay, then I'll go out on a limb because it's something maybe that's recently posted. I'll send it, and once in a great while, it's like, oh,
Yeah, my algorithm is always crazy delicious food and then people dying in horrific ways. That's what I get.
and then I've got now disturbing comments because I've stumbled across those ones, and I'm like, oh, this is like the stuff on Facebook. I loved going to those like groups where they're secret because it was so outrageously bad content. And like,
Oh yeah, I'm in a few of those.
and I'm like, oh, thank God, find some of these things. And the one I recently found, and I just find humorous, is I don't know what some cumbersome individual, some girl, and she's like, "Oh, I haven't had anything to eat all day," and there's like a picture of a dog giving like the side eye, and I just start laughing because I'm like, that's my humor. So I'm not really even that hungry, and there's like a big like fucking air horn and like the dog like 3 different ways on there, and I'm like, that's my humor. Okay, now we're rolling down the right track, and I think this is the first time I've ever had these buffalo wings or whatever, and it's just like fucking a nuclear explosion. The dog's like spinning. It's like just lies after lies and that type of stuff. Where I know I sent it to the guy down in Mount Vernon, Illinois, the one that I went to that Cardinals game with. Some of the disturbing comments, and he's all about that stuff because I don't think he does much on the Instagram with that. But again, that's like the time consumer on the toilet. Not looking up hockey card prices or baseball card prices, looking at people with what others might deem disturbing comments, which I find utterly hilarious, enjoyable.
You are quite demented, Dave.
And I'm a massive fan of kids getting hurt. It's one of the best pages.
It's the best.
One of the best pages.
Yeah, the best. Especially like with a soccer ball like coming right at their face and they're looking at it. It's like they don't move.
Yeah, there is a great compilation of that yesterday I ran across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just for the record, that fucking hurts.
I'm sure it does.
Yes,
it does.
It makes it sound like it does.
Yeah. That ball isn't soft. I know that.
Yep, and whenever I hear it, I start laughing.
Especially when you're looking right at it. You're not paying attention. Hey, get off the field. I don't know.
So what was it, Steve? 2 weeks ago, Cease made a save, made another save, popped up, and a girl just booted her right to her face. And she basically headed the ball and shot like she was on the 18 box, and that ball shot to midfield off of her noggin. It hit right here, like perfect. And the ref blew the whistle. He's like, "You okay? You all right?" And I said, "What did you tell him when he stuck 3 fingers up?" And she goes, "I used my standard, Dad, orange." And I said, "That's my girl." And he goes, "What?" He goes, three. There was 3. And she stayed in, and the next thing was a corner kick, and she jumped out of nowhere like a bird of prey and snatched it out of the sky. And I was like, damn. And then as soon as halftime hit, she sat down for like 2 minutes, and all the adrenaline went like that, and she was like it all hit her at once. But That was like the game-winning save. Her noggin made it. They won 1-0.
Yeah, I can't say I ever got kicked in the face with the ball as a goaltender. That was in the field.
Literally,
And
she looked up and boom.
And it's not fun when you're running and yes, you have spatial awareness, but like the ball gets taken away and you get smacked in the side of the face with the ball.
Yeah.
Like that's not supposed to happen. Like you're always supposed to be looking in front with your peripheral a little bit to the left or to the right, depending on what wing you're on. Not when it's like literally coming from the back side of you and it like, yeah. It's not a pleasant feeling. And it makes your face red for quite a bit.
Speaking of soccer and goalies, did you watch the Untold Hope Solo thing on Netflix?
No. Can't say
it was a good watch.
I had to watch it.
Yep, it was a good watch. My wife, who's not really a sports fan of any kind, she loves watching those Untold documentaries. So anytime a new one comes on, we watch it. We have not watched the Michigan cheating scandal one yet, though, because it really doesn't interest me at all.
My wife might want to watch that one.
Yeah.
No roundhouse there, Ed. One bicycle kick, but no roundhouse.
I saw one real, one short, one whatever yesterday, soccer wise. It had to have been old, something or another. Or I don't know if the guy, I think the guy was in like a blue jersey and shorts, and the other guy, I think it was a black dude in like a red jersey. Again, I don't know what league. There's 18 million leagues. I'm sure this was before all the
Manchester City and Liverpool, possibly.
It was older. I don't know. I mean, this was like maybe 80s, maybe 90s, where the guy kicked him like in the thigh. And the dude broke like the leg there. And you can see like
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The cut of the bone breaking the skin. And the motherfucker gets up.
He broke the femur?
He was fucking hot.
Usually you only break those in car accidents.
That's why I was very intrigued, because I was like, that's not something of normalcy. That's usually a very punishing hit. And the motherfucker went running after like the opposing head coach, because I'm thinking it was like a hit on him purposely, because and then you saw those medical dudes going out there like lying, because he was still standing on that fucker. I'm like, oh my god, that you want to talk adrenaline? That had to have been, when he came down from that would have probably been, you're pretty much passing out. That I saw that, but that's one of the most wild injuries I've ever seen. Like, he wasn't faking on that soccer where most of the guys are, you get tickled by a feather and they fucking act like they get shot.
That happens in every sport, unfortunately.
Well, I know, but I feel it's more of an art form in soccer.
In certain sense, in certain situations, I don't think that's an incorrect statement.
Europe seems to be very over dramatic, especially when you start getting down to like the Mediterranean countries. S'il vous plaît au français and Italia. Those are two of the more over dramatic.
I mean, I can sit there and say, like, in like City League, you kind of knew what to expect when it came to penalties.
hmm
During tournaments, like there were times in which you're going, okay, the refs are actually letting us play. You know, it's if it's a blatant trip, if it's like slide
pushing.
tackle, and you can tell like they're going for their legs and stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
that shit's going to be cold. But you know, watching, you know, shoulder to shoulder, like freaking grunting it out, like just in like sometimes literally like, you know, freaking like as long as you don't like raise your arm and like expose your elbow, typically they let you freaking play it out.
Yeah.
But watching professionals, sometimes it's like, seriously? Like if that was the fucking case when I played, we'd never have any, like we'd have no game.
No, there'd be no flow. There'd be no flow of the game. It penalty, yellow card, yellow, red, yellow.
Well, I will tell you this much: in all the years that I played, I want to say I saw a total of maybe 5 yellow cards and only 1 red.
That's one game at NISA.
But that's the difference between recreational soccer and professional soccer.
I've seen with C, I've seen 3 yellow cards. And she was the, well, no. 3, 4, 5, 5 of them. 3 of them on Tara, who's Cece's teammate, and 2 on a girl that took Cece out twice.
Well, one of them, one of the yellow cards was on an opposing coach. I happened to be the individual that got taken out where the other player got a yellow card. But like I don't ever remember during regular City League there were any cards. It was all tournament play.
It was all sports cards.
No, it was not.
Right.
Are you are you asking about like the Olympics? You're referring to the, you know, I watched part of the gold medal game, but
they were
but even some of that was a little ticky tacky.
Lot ticky tacky.
On the international level, to that extent, I'm sure that like that's kind of more the expectation, though. These officials coming from all countries and everything else, they have certain guidelines and regulations that they have to follow because it's from the worldwide stage. But even then, it's like, really? You're calling that? She tripped over the fucking ball. That wasn't a trip. She tripped over the ball.
Then somebody got murdered and they didn't call anything. I couldn't believe it.
Of course, like when Brazil scored the first goal of the gold medal match, I'm sitting there yelling at the TV. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That was offsides by a fucking mile. And it took a while for them to be like, oh, yeah, offsides. I'm going, dude, like, what needed to be looked at? I'm watching it on the TV, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, like by a mile. Because if they would have allowed it, I mean, that shit would have, like, That could have changed the whole dynamic of that game. And then, of course, when the U.S. scored, one of the, like, I'm pretty sure they were like, oh, yeah, this one might come back offsides. And I'm like, no. Nope. But, you know, if you don't know anything about soccer, like, most people aren't going to notice it because it's almost like an exact science. Like, if you understand the rule, you can typically pick up on it fairly easy. But if you know nothing about soccer, you're like, oh, how was that offsides? It's the same rule with hockey. Like, offside, like the whole thing with soccer, it's the same with hockey. Offsides is called for the same thing. The only difference is it's not, you know, crossing the blue line too soon. Even though that's part of offsides, that's not always the offsides. Well, I guess it is when it comes to hockey. But so, and just for the record, since Ed happens to be here, we are not going to have any episodes related to the whole origination of this whole fucking random name that has come about.
It's better than a guy cusses a lot. And Dave, I think you're referring to I think it's Holland's dad took out Roy Keane, and Roy was out for like a year, and then Roy came back in a match, and he just went, and they were red and blue. It was a derby match between Manchester City and Manchester United, and Keane came across that dude's leg, and it just went. So that guy didn't get up, because that's why I think it might be different. But if you ever want to see a two plays, it's on YouTube. Roy Keane and Holland. Roy Keane ends Holland's career. It was payback like 2 years later. And I mean, he snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies, threefold.
What is this sport that you talk about, Paul? I'm like, I don't think that word has ever come out of my mouth.
Well, you're the oracle and foul mouth.
Prove it.
If I could go back in the archives and clip two people trying to put a show on Tuesday night with little not much success in there, whatever it would be. They didn't do well. When you got people talking about Lego or whatever it was, that didn't.
Come on, man! Like, this show is scripted. Like, we've pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. This shit's scripted.
Yeah, every Sunday night for like an hour we go on without going on. No, Zippy's one of the meat department guys, and one of the family with the name on the side of the building. You know?
Like the script now says that at some point Michael's gonna pop in here and say something out of the ordinary. Like, I mean, come on. Or did I forget to send you the script, Michael?
Yeah. I'm illiterate.
No acknowledgement. Absolutely none.
Give me a fucking break.
I deserve love and attention. Hi, Kate.
You get plenty of love and attention. That's not completely my fault.
I don't know. Being neglected over here.
You're feeling neglected. Why am I bringing my beer outside? I don't ever take my beer outside. See what you did? You made me lose my concentration.
Yeah. Yeah, they did that. That all there.
Shut up, Dave.
First time those 3 words have ever been said ever.
Well, it's either that or fuck you, Dave. One of the two.
I get the 3 other words that have never been said in succession.
Hey.
And
Michael,
I don't know
you
how-
have been. He's been awfully quiet. Like I know when we were in pre-show or whatever, you were yawning, so you're definitely tired.
I'm very relaxed.
Well, when you're wrapped up in your snuggie and in your space, and
This blanket is amazing. It's a Hula made by UGG. It is the softest blanket I've ever felt in my life.
but
Just
of course, when the wife gets home, he's going to be like wide awake.
Maybe. Doubtful.
just don't wear any boots by UGG. You start wearing footwear by them, where we've got some
No.
issues.
Not a chance.
Vinny wears them. What are you talking about? He's got
I will
like 6
never-
pairs.
I will never own I will never own Uggs. I will never own Crocs. I have a pair of Hey Dudes, but they do not leave the house. Because those are house slippers. Those are not to be worn in public.
Well, I don't
Depends
think
on
most
who you ask.
public has
Do
got
what?
that.
Yikes.
Those are for the house only.
Yeah.
I don't wear them outside. They're worn around the house. It's if
I was
my
gonna say,
and I usually wear a pair of tennis shoes around the house. They're my house shoes, and around the perimeter of said house. I got a pair of Under Armour shoes I wear. These are when my gout is killing me, and I have to not wear a shoe, and I hate walking in my bare feet. So, it's either that or slippers, and slippers. A man of my carriage, as Dave would say, tends to sweat through slippers. So, I these things work perfect.
slippers do not provide much comfort or resistance to the hard floor. I mean, you're
Correct.
basically walking barefoot.
Yeah. So I usually wear I got these Under Armour shoes. It's hard to find shoes for me because I'm a 13 wide. And when I find them, I wear them till they fall apart. I have 2 pairs of Skechers right now I've had for 6 years. I looked inside, I'm like, why does my foot feel so weird? And I looked inside and like the sole is completely, I'm like, well, I could either A, put in some Dr. Scholl's and really feel freaking old, or just toss these bitches in a couple days and then break out the other pair and wear those for a month and then toss them. 6 years for a pair of tennis shoes is pretty good.
Hokas are the way to go. They come in wide and they have a large toe box. Hokas are the best. They're just expensive. I have like 4 pair of them and I love them.
Well, like my dad always says, take care of your feet. My uncle always said that too because he was in Vietnam, and well, he said always take care of your feet because if they get screwed up, you're done.
So did Lieutenant Dan.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true too.
He was all about socks.
Change your socks.
Yep.
So I say those
Ay.
the Keen sandals. Those are a godsend.
What are those shoes called again, Michael?
Hoka, Hoka.
I've seen people wearing them around. A lot of colors too. It's not just your fucking New
Yeah.
Balance brutal.
I've got some wild looking ones. I'll go grab them real quick. But I have a pair I wear at work every day. They're Gore-Tex, so they're waterproof, and they're all black.
Well, they're kind of they're on the expensive side.
Which is
Well, he
what he
mentioned-
said.
Yeah.
Yep. You mentioned that.
You're not getting these at the outlet store like I go after shit.
Yeah. You're not
like
going
I
to
went,
Kmart?
like I supplied Dave enough shorts to the Rapture. Well, not
Yeah.
quite, but
I wear these every day at work.
I've seen people have those.
I have these,
Now I know what they are.
and
Oka.
these are some pretty wild color ones.
Yeah.
But they're both the same shoe. They're both Gore-Tex. They're made for trail running, but my ass ain't running anywhere. But
Exactly.
they're the most comfortable shoes. They are. They have crazy thick soles.
I'll ask for a pair for Christmas.
There you go. These ones, I think these ones were 160.
Yeah, that's what looks like the going price.
Yeah.
Which, again, 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, no way. I'm going to buy every Nike that's out of the East Bay magazine for $40. Which, again, that's good for playing a game of basketball every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And that game of basketball isn't fucking the Rucker or anything like that. It's just a bunch of white guys farting around on the court.
Yeah.
Now,
There are no fast breaks.
yeah, I need something that is comfortable. I will pay off to get said comfort.
These are the last Nikes I bought that fit me. I went to the Nike outlet in Pennsylvania when I visited my brother and my folks. I want a pair of Jordans. I never had them. I tried on every pair of Jordans in that freaking joint 13.
I was never a person who had Jordans either, and I decided to buy myself a pair of them a few years back. It's probably been 5 years now. They're up in the closet in the box. They've been worn twice. They're Jordan 4s, and they are one of the most uncomfortable shoes I've ever worn in my life. They suck.
Yep. Dee has a pair of purple ones because she has a big old foot. She wears a 9.5 at age 13. So that's pretty big. And she has a pair of purple and white ones. She just got a pair of red ones. But her foot's long but narrow. It isn't fat like mine. It's this wide and long.
She can wear Pumas.
Yeah.
Because I can't wear Pumas because they're long and narrow.
The better half found me a pair of Adidas for my birthday that were wide. Because I bought, whoever has something with Adidas, Durant or one of them guys, I saw these cool shoes. I'm like, I'm going to grab these. They were 13s. Didn't try them on at the store like a dumbass. Brought them home. I said, well, Meredith, we're taking these back.
My issue was finding a pair of shoes that last longer than a year.
Yeah.
And that's why I went away from Nike, because fuck, if I wear them every day, even if it's regular, okay, we go up the North Shore, we go up a trail, or we look at a waterfall, or we do something. Then you start getting that heel, or the whole sole starts it's a tongue, it's a big tongue. It just starts
Or
flat.
it starts sliding off the sole to the side.
I'm like, nah, I'll never buy another pair of Nikes as long as I
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I
they
don't.
don't-
Nike
they don't
used to
make
be
them like
all
they
I
used
wore.
to.
Nike was all I wore as a kid, and as an adult, I don't buy them.
Like I've said,
No,
I think of the Michael Johnson ones when they were on East Bay dirt cheap. There's a pair of blue velvet ones I got in 9th grade that were like marked down huge. My football cleats were Reebok pumps as a senior, which was wild. I was so happy with that. And then it's been basically sandals. I've had, I think, a couple of Reeboks and a couple Nikes, 3-4 Nikes since then. Everything's falling apart so fucking quick that get the Keen, and I'm pretty much good. I mean, I'll spend the $100, or if I can find something for like 85, I'm like, better yet. But I mean, if I could stack 6 pairs of fucking Keens, I would do that a heartbeat. Somebody said $500, you get 6 pair of Keen. Yes, sir.
Under Armour, they're the only ones that fit right. When they're 13 W, 13E, 13 something. There's
Is that like an Interstate?
yeah,
Yeah.
basically. There's a sticker on the box. I hunt for the sticker. It's a green sticker. And like I said, I was able to find 3 pair. I have 2 in the closet upstairs that aren't going to be broken out until I wear out every other shoe that I own, because I'm afraid that they're not going to make them anymore, and then I'm not going to have a pair of tennis shoes. Now, the best shoes I ever bought were Doc Martens. I had 2 pair of steel-toe Doc Martens from work.
Yeah.
When I worked inside the plant and distribution facility, I had to wear steel toes. And since I spent most of my 2 years in both places, I wore those all the time. And they were the most comfortable shoes, even though they were steel toes. At the end of the day, 14, 15 hours, my feet didn't hurt.
That's the way it was. No. Timberland Pro Series steel toe boots. I've owned through 4 pair, and they're amazing. Same thing. They're heavy. They're heavy. That's the only thing that's bad about them, because they were real steel toes. They weren't composite toes, and absolutely love those things. And you could wear them all day and not have any fatigue in them.
At least C doesn't play softball.
Yeah.
I'm guessing her soccer cleats don't. I mean, I'm going to be on a 3rd pair of dirt cleats for Naomi this year.
She averages about 3 pair of boots a year because
Okay.
her foot was growing.
Wow.
So we bought a pair of 9.5 she has now. Then Tatenda says, well, I like them tight. Wear them tight when you're a goalie, because he wears like a size 10.5. He's from Zimbabwe. It's the way he rolls. And he's my boy, and I love him like he's my son. But he's like, he wears a size 10.5 shoe, and his cleat, his boot is like 8.5, 9.
See, that's a good way to like fuck up your foot.
Yeah.
That's his. I don't know. I don't mess with him.
Now I will say, like, you want your cleats snug. You don't want to like freaking punt the ball and your cleat go flying off your foot.
True.
Which I have seen, not just opposing goalies or even like teammates. Part of that, I think it's like tie your shoe a little tighter. But again, like in those situations, I think parents bought a size bigger because like their foot continues to grow, and it's like no, you want it snug, but too snug, like it's not good for your foot.
He told me what he used to do. He'd get old cleats when he was a kid before he went pro. And he'd find them, and then he would hollow them out so they would fit. So he got used to tighten them up and stuffing stuff in them. And then he goes, when I turned 16 or 15, he went pro in Zimbabwe. And that's when he got his first pair. So he always wanted a pair of Jordans too. So we were in Pennsylvania at the outlet, and we were like, Tatenda, what size do you wear? He's like, I'm like, what size tennis shoe do you wear? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, he's like, I said, you have how many pair of tennis shoes? What size are they? I said, look on the tongue. He's like, 11. I'm like, okay, or 10.5. So we got him a pair of Jordans for Christmas one year, and just the look on the kid's face was just priceless.
Yeah, but the issue with that is depending on the style of Jordan, you can wear anywhere between a 9.5 and a 13.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is true. Well, they fit him. He didn't say you got to take them back. So,
I mean, I wear between a 10 and a 13 when it comes to a Nike. It all depends on the brand.
I wear anywhere from an 11.5 to a 13, depending on the brand.
So tough. What? Tough what?
Tough toe.
toe.
So that supposedly will some sort of like epoxy type stuff where got
To
this
help
little
with the drag toe.
got the gun deal, got that that thing, and then a little applicator deal. So that was only $50. Money. At least it's the jerseys are red, so I can find shoes pretty easily on eBay that are marked down $35-$40, and because I know the one now, it's like the lace basically busted on it. Feels like, let's see how much sand is in here this time. It's like an hourglass, and like I said, just deal with it. Again, you'll get new ones next year. I'm not gonna buy you a new fucking pair in goddamn September or October for next year. You can remember we've got winter coming. I'd rather buy you some different turf shoes and then put that stuff on there and apply that on the like a regular pair of Nikes. I'm like looking at everybody else. I'm man, your shoes down here in like the cities. I mean, nobody's getting their shit torn up, and hers are fucking just destroyed. So
Of course,
well,
it'd be nice if a certain somebody would kind of pitch in for some of that shit.
yeah, that'd be fucking amazing, but that'll never happen.
Well, I'm aware, but I figured I would just like state the obvious, though.
Just
Too.
remind me of that.
No. Point her in the direction at the hour and 2-minute mark of your friends reiterating the fact that, hey, like, do your motherly responsibility and help pay for some of that shit.
That'd be fucking wonderful.
We all know it's not going to happen, but like, I still figured it needed to be said, although it's not going to make a damn bit of difference because I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, you can't put the offering in the big church or send money over to the family back in the land of the rising sun south version. It's like you can't do that with giving fucking
but you can bank on if Naomi goes to college and like does really well and gets like NIL money and like all that type. She gonna.
I already know that it'll be people will be excited about like she'll be wow, she does so good. And I'm like, nothing to do with you.
Right?
Fucking guarantee you that. You're not out here on a Sunday morning at 8 a.m. when it's fucking misting and 50 degrees.
Or snowing, for that matter.
Does she come to her games at all?
Yeah. But it's wild because it's like, okay, you're supposed to be done with work 5, and okay, the game starts at 5:15. She'll be like rolling up like 5:30. I'm like, the fuck? It's your kid. I'm like, that's like a majority of my time other than work.
Yeah,
Work. We're going to fucking.
I missed one basketball game when Scott was living here. One basketball game. And that's only because what I did at the time from a job perspective, it was quarter and close. So like revenue.
Mm.
And we were still getting requests to close orders and take shit to revenue and everything else. And I pulled into the parking lot as they were walking out. But one game in all the years that he played sports. Pretty damn good if you ask me.
Better half quit a job and got a new job because they wouldn't let her go to Shelby and Haley stuff.
I get it.
And like we missed, I think the away games, we missed like one or two of Shelby's and missed one of Haley's. The one we missed to Haley, she had a freaking grand slam.
Of course you did. Ryan, can you hear us?
Ooh,
Thumbs up if you can hear us. You good to go? Minute. Gotcha. Give me a thumbs up when you're actually ready. I'll
I
pull you
think
in.
the one thing I missed was like one of the band deals, but I know what they do. They don't play the full song at like a young level. And they had 2 songs, one of which was like the national anthem they're going to be included on. And then the other one was like some other like Star Wars or Star Trek bullshit or whatever. It's like, I'm sorry. I think that's one of the podcast nights too. I'm like, I don't want to go there for 10 minutes and then watch the rest of this shit. Again, I know parents of the people, like a kid in every grade up through the seniors, but I don't know. That's not something I find enjoyment in unless you're like really good. And
I think Ryan's about to punch his computer. Like I'm watching the scowl on his face right now. As he's sitting in the lobby.
Yeah.
He's having some technical difficulties though too, I can tell.
I've worked 8 hours and they needed something done. I've worked my 8, 9, 10 hours, gone to Shelby or Haley's game, and then came home and worked 6 hours into the night to get something.
I got you, Ryan. I saw you.
It's our kids. They matter.
What is up? I was having a little technical difficulties with the AirPods.
No worries.
How are you guys?
Good.
Doing good.
Tired.
I'm with you.
Gonna move him up there.
Oh, yeah. It's what's Parker do for sports? And what's he in?
Right now he's playing baseball. He plays baseball, basketball, and soccer. But right now he's just baseball.
Oh,
Yeah. So
is he showing like a liking or like a more of a focus on any of them, or like, hey, this was my favorite. I like these.
I think he's getting more liking into basketball. I think he's wanting to practice that more. He does play baseball and he has fun with it, but getting him to practice just at home is like pulling teeth. So yeah. So how's everybody been? Oh, there's Michael.
Good. Tired. Good.
Yeah, sorry it's later. I just got the kids down. It's a lot easier for me to do this when they're not up.
We know your schedule. That's fine. Yeah.
It's like no need to apologize.
Yeah.
Like we know typically if we ask if you can come on, it's between 9:15ish. Like
Yeah.
you got fatherly responsibilities.
Well, we tried before they went to bed, and that didn't really go well. So it's just better now if they go to bed. But they were fighting a little bit tonight, so hopefully they're in bed now. They weren't cooperating. So
Now we've all had younger kids, so like we get it. Well,
yeah.
most of us.
So yeah, no, I'm just Exhausted. It's been a long day, a long week already. Neil's on his week-long vacation right now, so that means extra duties for me and everybody else.
I messaged him. I said, "Hey, you're more than welcome to come on." And when he said he was on vacation, I'm like, "Yeah." I thought when I asked, I'm like, "Man, this is about the time like the same we had him. You guys either last year or 2 years ago, and same thing. It's like we got you on, which I always love, but I always like to get both of you on, so he can just at least be on the camera and you can still do the talk."
I think it's because Neil goes to bed a lot earlier than I do and gets up earlier than I. Well, I get up early, but he gets to work earlier. So, but I think I don't know. He goes to bed early, so I'm usually up till 10:30, 11 usually. So I think he probably goes to bed like 9. So when he can come on without me. He's a big boy.
Oh, I know.
I
told him that too. I said, "Come on, we want to hear. Hey, talk about some Adam Wainwright. Talk about your fantasy team from like that perspective, or talk about whatever you want." I mean, fuck. We always want to hear from you guys. I mean, that's what I try. And again, there's stuff I've got. I always have the conversation with the old guard because again, that's who I want to always keep in touch with because those are the people. As you know, you forge more of those actual real relationships outside of just sports cards or the hobby. You forge it by meeting them in the hobby, but then talk about everything else outside of it. So I always want to get those guys on, but yeah, I think it's tougher with us because a lot of folks just want to they think it's got to be hobby centric.
Yeah.
I know I've talked to Alan, goes to Zappo. He's like, "Well, I'm not really in the hobby." I'm like, dude, nobody fucking cares. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you watch one of these episodes, unless it's like something with you on there or Jeff Morris or somebody specific to cards, we're not sitting there and just talking cards like constantly. Oh, what are the values of this SSP on a top series? Ooh, what's going on? No, who fucking cares? Talk about shit that you want to talk about. Music.
An open floor.
Yeah, always that. We've always said that too, because it's again, if you got a topic you want to talk about, great. If you just want to talk and be just like, hey, this is like a hangout, fine.
Yeah. Oh, I know we tried to do this after National, do a recap. Sorry, it didn't work with everything, but I'm here now. So
yeah, it's all your fault, Ryan. You fucked up our schedule, man. How dare you?
I did. I know. It's all my fault, man. It's been nonstop since the National. It hasn't slowed down. I'm ready for things to slow down. I don't know when they will.
And they're not because we got, Christmas right around the corner, man.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I just said you're going. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder, asshole.
Yeah.
It's not Christmas, but I'll tell you guys, anybody listening, the big announcement that's coming in 2.5, 3 weeks, I think it is. So in a nutshell, we're closing on a building. We're buying a building. The shop is going to move in 25. We're a 1,400 square foot shop right now. We are going to 8,300 square feet.
Oh, wow.
So we are expanding. It's about 6-7 minutes away from our current shop. This is what I've been working on for several months since spring. It took us 2 months to get them almost to sign pen to paper. And then they wanted like a long closing date. They wanted a long period of contingency and all that stuff. So we close October 11th. The only thing is it's one big unit. Right now it's split up into 3. In the middle unit, the lady has her business in there. She basically has to finish her business by the end of the year. So in the contract that we signed, we had to agree she gets free rent to the end of the year. Therefore, we can't break ground on everything until January 1. However, we have already hired Seth Rollins, aka an architect, to draw up everything. We've been going back and forth for about 3 weeks on that. We feel we have the draw up that we want. And what they're telling me, as long as everything goes well, we should be open by March of next year at this new location. So I love it. Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. So that's what's going on outside of prepping for Black Friday, Holiday Mania, Christmas. But it's been very busy doing all this on top of everything else. I had to start a new LLC for this. Obviously, you want to separate one business from another, so it's been a lot. But we're excited. We found the place we've been looking for several years, and we're happy, man. Next steps, I hope we'll announce everything, formally and everything in the next month or so, and then we'll have a soft open and then a big grand reopening thing next year sometime. So we're very excited. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I have a question.
Hmm?
So I have a request.
Okay.
Which means Tyson, I know you're not watching, but like you can tell Tyson to watch this part of the episode an hour and 15 minutes in.
Okay.
We need some progression videos of how the build out and stuff is going.
I'm actually going to hire a professional for that. No offense to Tyson. I'm going to hire I'm going to hire a professional that could do this from start to finish. I want to do this right. Ryan Johnson, Card Collector 2, did hit with his, and I thought that was awesome how he did it. So I'm going to get a hold of my buddy Bruce, who I wish Michael, you might know Bruce.
I've met Bruce.
Yeah, he does a lot of content stuff with his business, so I'm going to see if he can give me some recommendations. So we want to get kind of the groundwork going. It's a lot weird. In a nutshell, I can't show you too much, but this isn't official, but this is close to what this is sitting on my desk. This is the draw up right now. This is over 2,000 square feet of show floor here. And then over here is about the size of my current shop. This is going to be an area where we can host trade night events. We can host card shows. We can host events. It's like almost 1,000 square feet. There'll be bathrooms over here. This is going to be our podcast breaking room where you can see a glass into it from the main show floor, essentially. And this will be where they break. This will be where we host podcasts, office there, blah, blah, blah. All this is going to be storage, essentially. We need the storage for everything we're doing. But put in perspective, my shop right now on the show floor is about 930 square feet on the show floor. And this is going to be over 2,000. And that doesn't even include the almost 1,000 square feet we're getting for doing events, hangouts, tables, TVs, you name it. We're putting a lot into this, and we're doing it all right. We're building the dream shop that we always wanted. We can finally do everything we want, and we're never moving again. So, because I'm owning this. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's on it.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's
I
awesome.
appreciate it. It's on an acre of land. It has 41 parking spots, and then there's a strip mall next door. It's freestanding, by the way. There's a strip mall next door that has a ton of parking spots. So we feel confident we could do a lot of things that we never thought we could do before and take this to the next level. It's a great area as well, real easy to get to. This is, again, I want to give you guys that because by the time I get on here again, it's going to be old news. I figured you guys should get the breaking news opportunity. We haven't even told this on the podcast. We've told a few customers locally, but this has been very hush hush as far as public knows.
Well, last time we had you on pre-national, you shared with us that, hey,
big things
there's going to be some big news coming. Can't share it. Like, there's still a lot of moving parts. So, like, you've stayed true to form. Like, thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for sharing with the few individuals that watch us, because not to take away from you, but most people who watch us aren't gonna know most of like your business and everything else and your customer base. So it's not like, oh shit, now you got to be concerned that somebody's gonna sit there and spill the beans for you.
No, it was, and last time it was more of, we were just at the beginning stage of them getting to sign. We were under contract and we were in a contingency period of 45 days. So at that point, it was, if anything were to go wrong, I didn't want to jump the gun. Now, if I don't buy the building, then I get taken to court. So guess what? I'm buying that building, and I want that building. Where now we're at a point where we're so close to it that I can get sued for not buying it. So it's there's no question we're doing this. We're excited. This is insane to think that it's come this far. I mean, you guys been there since the beginning, pre-beginning. You know me well before we had a shop, and it's remarkable the journey we've gotten to go on and do this, and now we can finally be under one main roof to do the things we've always wanted to do, and continue to grow this hobby the way that we think it should be grown. So,
again, like that's
just,
a huge congratulations. Like it couldn't
Thank
have
you.
happened to a better group of people. I know you surrounded yourself with great employees. You know, that helps a whole lot, which gives you the opportunity to spend time with family. Just the
Does.
same like Neil. It's because years ago it was go 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 go, and it was just the two of you guys for the longest time, and you
Yeah.
started from nothing to what is on the level of like a Cards HQ. I mean, that's
Thank you.
not that I'm trying to compare you to him,
No.
because there is no comparison. Like you guys are like up here and he's down here as far as I'm concerned when it comes to just character and things along those lines. Like you guys have done it right. You guys have done it right. And again, it couldn't happen to two better people. And like looking forward to watching the journey. It's going to force me to make a trip out to Missouri at some point.
That's what's up.
I can't wait for a trade night.
Yeah, no, we've been kind of avoiding those because we don't have the spacing to do what we think it could do. And now,
I mean, every day looks like a trade night in there.
yeah.
the weekends are nuts, man. It's insane. It was first day. It's Tuesday. Tuesdays are hit and miss. And it was good. Ask Tyson. He turned to me about 4:45. I was getting ready to leave, and he's like, "Dude, today has been busy." And I was like, "Yeah, it was a really big Tuesday. I mean, we go over numbers and transactions, what we did last year on this day, this week, and today alone, they almost made. And we're not even open on Mondays, but sometimes we'll get a sporadic Monday person coming in because we're there. They almost made Monday through Thursday in one day today in sales for this week compared to last year. It's been last weekend they did just Saturday and Sunday. Last weekend was almost as much as we did that week last year total. It is insane what we're doing right now in store. Obviously, the online operates and does itself, and it's doing great. But right now, September and October traditionally are the worst 2 months in retail, especially for us. And right now, we're still doing great and cruising along. And I'm just trying to stay positive. I'm like, when's it going to slow down? When are we going to have that slow point of sales? Because we got fall football going on, sports betting. There's too many releases. You got this money, that money, election year. And you just think when it's going to slow down, you just have not seen that yet. And I'm always just like, I mean, I hope not. I mean, we'd love to defy all the odds and defy what history and traditionally what it shows. Right now we're doing that. But again, I got to stay optimistic and I got to prepare for the storm. And I always, think of the worst and expect the best. When it comes to a business, you got to prepare. And, I know some shops are feeling it right now because all the releases. And I told them all, you should have been saving the past 6 months and holding your money because you knew this was coming. They're going to hit us hard the last 2 quarters of the year. They're going to demolish you with releases and product because they want to get their numbers up.
I was going to say, they're wanting to close out their year strong.
Exactly. Hello. Yeah. So it's just how it is. This is ending the third quarter next week. So obviously you're going to see an uptick. They're trying to push everything out the door for the third, and then they're going to get everything in the fourth. It's just what you got to deal with when it's such a cis industry. It's just business and retail and everything, So,
yep. Because I don't follow it, has this past year's fall has come out yet for football?
No, 23 has not come out yet. We just started getting solicited like in the past week. They're just now, NT's just now releasing on Friday.
Holy hell.
Yeah, and let's see what else we got coming out.
I know Gold Standard for 24 came out.
24 Gold Standard and Luminance both came out. They just came out last week. Both was it the same week, I think? Yeah. Luminance was actually decent because I had Raiola and Arch Manning autos in it, which adds more value to it, which is nice.
The NIL guys are going to help those early products.
Yes. I just got my rep asking me if I want more Prism Draft football coming out, and I got to look, but I'm pretty sure those guys will be in that as well. I just got to determine how much of that I want. So, that's going to help.
Score came out too, don't forget.
Yeah, but the biggest gripe of Score is no Caleb Williams anything, which right now it doesn't matter. I mean, but again, that's everybody should
Well,
expect. What did you think, Justin Fields? You think he sucked? No, they gave him nothing around him. No O-line to protect him. Look at Justin Fields. He's not looking great, but he's 3-0 right now because he's got a team around him.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you just think, these kids are great. They just come in a bad situation. Sometimes it's a kid that's not as talented that comes in the best situation ever. I mean, look at Brock Purdy, for crying out loud. What a situation for him to go into.
Yeah.
And, sometimes look for, I'm going to throw my Vikings out here. Look at Sam Darnold's journey, man. I mean, going to the Jets, going to the Panthers, and then obviously San Fran, he was a backup. He wasn't getting the opportunity, and he's never gotten that opportunity around a really good team that's built to be a good team. And I'm not knocking them, saying my Vikings are a good team, but they're shocking the hell out of me right now. So
in the NFL season preview show with Brad, I mentioned that McCarthy getting injured, I was not happy about because I think McCarthy's terrible.
I think he is too.
Sam Darnold with that kind of talent on offense is going to be good.
Yes.
And he's never had Justin Jefferson to throw to. He's never had a line. He's never had a tight end. He's always been on horrible teams.
Going to New York is not the ideal situation to go for a rookie. Let's be honest,
No.
But no, I was not happy about the JJ draft. Neil and everybody knows that. I'm not a big Michigan guy, but I'm like, this kid is not worth a first-round pick. Here we are taking him. Like you said, he got hurt, but I think that, Sam Darnold, he ain't got no job to lose right now. He's proven right now. Right now, if the season stopped right now, he's the MVP of the league, which is crazy to think. We're only 3 weeks in, but you can't knock the kid for what he's accomplishing right now. And I'm watching him at games. I'm watching him step up in the pocket, just he's come along the ways. Like you said, somebody just said, Darnold's younger than Burrow. I mean, Darnold's younger, and he's younger than Josh Allen, if I'm correct, or something, or age of Josh Allen.
The Vikings, I guarantee, are looking around the office people are looking around at one another going, we don't have to do anything with JJ McCarthy. We can pretend that didn't happen.
Nope. Yeah. You get with these rookie contracts now, it's like you can just wash it up. It's like, maybe we'll trade him for a third or fourth rounder next year or something like that and just walk away.
I just don't see how they looked at him and didn't think worse than Mac Jones. Because that's what I thought about him and whenever the draft was coming around.
Yeah. I mean,
but on the flip side, though, like he hasn't. Preseason is one thing. Preseason doesn't mean shit. We all know this. Look at Bo Nix. Look at Bo Nix. How well he did in the preseason. He still really hasn't shown much.
He did. He looked a lot better this week, though.
He did.
Looked a lot better.
But still, like. I always go back that unfortunately, like these young quarterbacks, and it doesn't matter who they are, you put them in a shitty situation, you don't surround them with anything worth a damn, and then you fucking give up on them.
Yeah.
They don't ever get a chance to prove themselves. Like, case in point, Sam Darnold has now been put in a position to where he's got shit surrounding him. The defense is decent. He's not always playing from behind.
Nope.
So, like,
and he's playing more than half his games in a dome too.
Yeah,
that
tremendous.
Makes a huge difference.
That's a game changer.
I mean, but it's night and day, and this has been a plague of the NFL for years.
Oh yeah,
give him 1 or 2, 3 years, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, yeah, he sucks. Well, why does he suck? Well, the offensive line sucks. He has no offensive weapons. Now, this isn't the same for all of them because, let's face it, there are some that just fucking suck.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Right, young.
But the higher percentage, in my opinion, they are giving up on way too fast.
Well, now with these rookie contracts, it's just they're ready to move on to the next thing. I think the Bears, at least they did Justin Fields right by getting him on a good organization and team. And I mean, now the dude's 3-0, and he's got it, like you said. I mean, I don't think he has the weapons around him like Sam Darnold does right now, and a JJ receiver. But I mean, you got to remember the Vikings don't even have Addison or Hawkinson right now. That's scary. Right. At the end of the day, it's the Vikings. I've been doing this for too damn long. So just because things are great right now on the surface doesn't mean the shitstorm's coming, because it's coming. I've been doing this long enough. I mean, Jesus, we thought Joshua Dobbs was our savior for 2 weeks last year. Let's see how that turned out. Now, again, early to tell, but I'll tell you right now, I hope the best for Sam Darnold because he gonna get paid next year. He only had that 1 year, $10 million deal.
Yeah.
I hope he's paid and stay by it. If he continues to do this, pay that man, lock him up. You don't have to even pay him remotely close to Kirk Cousins' money. You literally can get this kid and lock him up for 3 to 5 years, wash JJ under the cloth, and move on to the next thing. It's like they have so much cap money coming. It's unreal. But again, at the end of the day, I'm going to die before I watch a Viking Super Bowl and a win in my life. So I've accepted that.
As long as Darnold just plays within the system, he doesn't have to be the one to make plays to win the game. And that's so key for him. And that defense, you have a defense with Flores. It doesn't matter who he's got. Those guys pretty much want to die for him because they believe in him and his system. You had Cashman, Van Ginkel, Gregor, or whatever from the Texans. You add these guys, and they're just every one of them's been playing lights out.
He needs to be a Brad Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Super Bowl winning Brad Johnson. That's really all he needs. That's really all he needs to be.
Yeah, he doesn't need to go out there and be flashy.
Trent Dilfer. I mean, you just be somebody that can. When somebody says a game manager, do you want to be a game manager and win the fucking Super Bowl, or do you want to be? Again, sorry, Brad, if you're happening to stumble across this. Dan Marino would never win a Super Bowl.
True.
I mean, what do you want? I want the Super Bowl ring, and I don't care if I throw for 3,300 yards instead of 5,240 touchdowns. Give me 3,228.
Speaking of quarterback, I mean, geez, just when I thought the Packers were going to go on a 3-0 losing scare, start 0-3, sorry.
Yeah.
Malik Willis, I mean, geez, I mean, you probably didn't see that one coming, did you?
No, when Love got hurt initially, as soon as it happened, I'm like, well, I don't have to worry about football season this year because it's going to be ugly.
And Malik Willis has got your 2 wins, and Jordan Love's got you none right now. Which is, again, it's Jordan Love's job. There ain't no question. But
yeah. And I think he plays this week.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think he would have played last week had they not won week 2.
Correct. Yeah, I think it was wise to rest.
Oh, we ran the ball 53 times and won.
Yep. And
then we're like, okay, well, that bought us another week. So then he went out and flipped the script. They're like, okay, they're expecting us to run. We're going to throw it a little bit. And Willis looked fantastic.
Yeah, he did.
Which was blew my mind.
Against his old team too.
I think that had a little to do with it.
Well, he said it didn't.
Wow.
You never believe that. But Christian Watson said, yeah, he may say he didn't care about it, but we wanted to do it for him.
Yeah. That's a team. I saw he got the game ball too that game, Malik Willis, which was awesome. He deserved it, man. That was just stories like that. It's like, hey, now that kid, he's going to be a backup the rest of the year, but if Love gets hurt, you feel a lot better. But now that kid's going to get an opportunity somewhere next year.
He's going to get, yes, exactly. Yeah. He's going to get some money, and he's going to get a chance to start somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in the system.
Another situation in which rookie quarterback giving up on way too soon.
It's all about the now, man.
He was still on his rookie contract, and they drafted Will Levis.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
after years.
Draft Will Levis and get rid of Mike Vrabel. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
Vrabel should be a head coach somewhere.
Oh yeah, he should.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm happy with our defensive coordinator thus far. He's letting those guys fly around. They're not. They're attacking instead of waiting to react.
Fuck you, Paul. No, he couldn't throw. There's a difference.
He made one of the best passes in the NFL.
Shut up, Dave. You can't keep going to that.
That Demaryius Thomas catch beautiful, but that pass, pinpoint accuracy. No other quarterback.
That was not pinpoint accuracy.
Why do you have to be such a hater, Steve?
Yeah, that's your team. That's your guy.
That's your quarterback.
No, he is not. Horrible.
All right,
Hey.
get you up to Team Tebow train. Are you all going to go to the National next year in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Shaking the head.
Some things have changed, so it's up in the air currently.
Okay. I hope you can make the. I hope you can change and go back to it.
Well,
Yep,
if
and I'm
you
in.
if you happen to stick around for a few minutes and after hours, I'll fill you in.
Okay.
I'm hoping
So
to
let's-
drag John out there.
So let's talk national real quick.
Okay.
Dave, I'm sure you have specific questions that I don't ever
Yeah,
remember.
they're
what
written
they are.
down in the back of this box right here.
Nice helper box. That's great. Hamburger helper. Oh, you would.
What worked for you and what maybe didn't work as well as you thought, if anything? Because I know last year was like the wrestling, sort of like the non-sport and like UFC stuff really blew up. That because I mean we saw everybody that was in our, I don't want to say friend group, but people we knew, friends, casual observers of the channel and our channels. They had Shawn Michaels autos. They had other autos of wrestlers. I didn't know you collected that, but we saw like Midlife Card Crisis, Dave. He had that Shawn Michaels, I think, Immaculate Moments that he got with the super kicks. But that worked very well in your favor. I think Trevor Lawrence stuff too was another one that really, really worked well in your favor 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What worked this year and what maybe not as much as you thought, even though it might still be a win, maybe not as much as you would think.
So we went way more diverse this year. We got way more diversified, meaning we went as many sports as we could, non-sports, everything like that. We had a good selection of all that stuff. We didn't go as quarterback heavy. The main guy I bought up and I sold everyone there, and I didn't go heavy like I did in the past, was Jordan Love. I predicted he'd be the hottest quarterback of the National. My prediction was right. Trevor Lawrence was not like he was last year. Right now, you probably can't give a Trevor Lawrence card away. So we definitely stepped away, putting a lot of emphasis on the quarterback stuff. It's just too volatile. And when you leave, if you don't sell it there, you got to get rid of it quick. It's like hot potato. But what I started putting my money into was rare stuff like logo mans, bat knobs, bat barrels, just unique things you don't see every day. And instead of putting that stuff higher, that money into some rookie quarterback that I buy this high-end stuff, I buy this stuff like that like, I don't care if I saw a Griffey logo man auto, or I don't care if I saw a Pujols logo man. I mean, these are cards that I'll take home and put in a box. Well, guess what? Those all sold. I mean, all that type of stuff sold. It was unbelievable how that stuff did. Now, the wrestling did phenomenal. We had such a massive selection of wrestling, and as we started selling of everything else, our wrestling, I had so much wrestling because I rip a lot of it. You know, we just kept expanding our wrestling. Instead of being stacks by wrestler, we started being able to spread everything out. So the wrestling did tremendous. Even hockey did insane. I only had like one good case of hockey, and it was just decimated by the end, and which is wild. I'm just like, okay, now I have strategies already for next year. I'm trying to think what didn't do. I hate to say like nothing didn't do great. It's the National. I mean, the thing is, the National is, you guys know as much as this. If you have the right stuff and you price it right, you're going to sell it. If you're willing to come down 5, 10, 15% if you need to, and you already have a price, a $100 card, you price $100, somebody says you take 90 and you take it, you're going to sell it. So it's really hard to say what didn't do well. Man, I'm just trying to think. Like some vintage, it took a little bit for vintage to take off. Then it really took off. It was started slow, but I'm just trying to. I mean, we went 50 and up this year versus 100 and up in sticker. Worked very well. Just having that more variety for everybody. I don't want to sit here and say like there was nothing bad, but I just can't. I mean, let's put it this way. We broke last year's record and we broke it I was blown away, very blown away that we broke the year before's record. So how we're going to be this year, next year, it starts with me already prepping. I'll give you a little hint, kind of what I'm doing is I'm starting to buy graded key vintage rookies in all sports. So I have like 3 Jim Brown rookies right now graded. I have Koufax's, Clementes. I just bought a Namath rookie. I've got Magic Bird Irving. I've got Jordan sticker rookie, just not just all vintage in the 60s, 70s, 50s, but I'm trying to buy all that stuff up right now. Obviously, the better the grade, obviously, it's worth more, but sometimes it's like I just bought a Bob Gibson rookie that's a PSA 3 and it looks like a 5. It's centered perfectly, and I paid what a 3's worth, and it should be worth more than that. So right now, my goal is, okay, I want to throw this stuff in a box, and I want to continue to grow this between now and National next year because these are iconic cards that are always going to sell. It's not a quarterback. Most of these guys I have are already dead, and rest in peace. But my point being is there's nothing they could do to almost influence their cards one way or another. They are what they are. They're going to be worth it. To me, it's like it's not hot potato. This is great stuff that I can sell anytime. I mean, you know what a Jim Brown rookie looks like. You know what a Clemente looks like. You know what, I've got 3 Nolan Ryan rookies right now. You know those cards because they're iconic. And that's my goal right now on top of doing the bat barrels, the bat knobs. And I showed you guys when I was on here last some of the stuff I was bringing, and that stuff did well. So I'm still buying that type of stuff, but it's not as focusing so much on the quarterback rookie craze anymore, considering you can't even get the top rookie quarterbacks in pro uniform anymore, which is just crazy to think that these days, but that's the world we live in now. But essentially, it's just putting more emphasis on things you don't see every day, things that aren't going to go down, things that like you guys like. I think we had just picked up a 09 NT quad jersey. It was Walter Payton, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, and one more.
Barry.
What made it a Barry? That's it. Yep, Barry Sanders. So 25. I mean, that's game used quad, awesome card, 350, 400-hour card. That's something you don't see every day. That's a card I could throw in a box right now, and it'll hold its value till next year. So essentially, my job, ideally right now, trying to prepare for next year is what can I buy now that can maybe make me 10, 20%, and the next year maybe a little more, but maybe worst case scenario I break even. And that's better than the money sitting in a safe doing no growing. And this gives us cards of variety for what we do at the National. That's awesome. Deion Sanders patch auto, NT, old school NT. Love it. It's just
Leave it to Dave to fucking just go grab the fucking box.
He's like, ooh, my box.
Dave's got the goods.
He does.
Yes, but Ryan really came with the goods last time he was on.
Well, yeah.
We all were just fucking drooling.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Yep, McAfee. Yep, not Pat.
But yeah, it's like just
it's just awesome, great stuff.
Yeah.
Game, they just don't make them like they used to, which is terrible to say. That's only like a 10, 12-year-old card. They don't even make it like that anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, old school, exquisite. Like that's just so cool.
I mean, everything is clean.
There's a tough card. Is that ultimate? Sorry.
Yep.
Looked like it.
Yeah, ultimate.
It was Ultimate Collection.
I was say, Michael's like, oh yeah, that's ultimate.
Yeah, I tried buying the 51 of 51 Dick Butkus several years back.
Nice.
And I wish I could buy it for what I wouldn't agree to buy into it last time because they've gone up significantly.
Oh yeah. It's changed a lot.
Yeah, it has.
Oh no.
I mean, that's a monster card right now.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, that's things like that's awesome. That's some old school NT.
I'll give you $10, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm at 13.
What do you give me for
Yeah,
that?
Jim Brown autogram.
Oh, Terrell Davis.
Artist proof. I
Yeah,
have that.
yeah,
I
I
have that
know.
card.
That's why it's sitting here.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Is that helmet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Mary, Bobby Lane, Dope Walker, Dutch Clark.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that you don't see every day, and it's great to see when it surfaces because it doesn't sitting in collections like that. Which, wow, is that
Buried
LA
bread in
farm
LA.
berry? Yeah,
That's
it is.
disgusting.
I love this one.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Buchanan.
Dave, you pay me $10 and send that card to me as well.
And this one, if there's any Bears fans,
Oh damn.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
That's nasty.
when you have Bulldog, Turner, Butkus, and Singletary.
Number 5. Wow.
So
You won't
Stuff
see those
like
in
that.
NTs anymore.
No,
Can't believe what people pay for that crap and try to pull stuff out of it.
it's mind-boggling to me that people out there buy the player worn and event worn stuff. It just is crazy to me. And now it's gotten even more generic where authentic memorabilia. I
Yeah.
mean,
Not
That's-
from not from any game.
Ooh, nice patch.
event.
Not, yeah.
that
Ed Reed
stuff
5
sells
star.
for a lot.
that was from
First year 5-star.
Sorry,
that was
excuse me.
me.
That's the hollow, right, Dave? Yeah,
That
I'm
was a
gonna need you
RBI.
to hold on to that one for me.
He needs that.
I
Way
like
back.
that one. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy legs.
Is it crazy legs? Yep. Crazy legs.
Yeah.
of the workers.
The Ed Reed I bought from you off eBay. The Eric Dickerson I showed, that was from the first trade night, the first pre-national I went to. That was one of the deals I made down there.
Oh wow.
I think a Len Dawson to 10. I knew I gave up an Elway auto, and I don't even remember what else, but I was more than excited. But yeah, there's so much of that type of stuff. I've got that crap laying around. Stuff like
Oh damn.
Yeah, that's the 101, right? Yeah.
No, just the casual 101. Dave Archer's toys.
Yeah.
yes,
Oh yeah. Hall of Fame set.
That's it. Do you still have that, or did you move that set?
I kept a couple of them. I moved most of them.
Yeah.
The only set I still have is the 01 SP Sign of the Time still. I've never broke that up.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Once Panini went away from doing that set every year, it kind of killed it.
Yeah, it did. It changed it tremendously. And I just, obviously, it was a cool set to do, but I think I kept a couple others from it. But it hit me hard. Damn.
I have one from it. I have Ron Wolf.
Oh, there you go.
That's one I kept.
Love
All right,
that
Dave.
set.
Quit showing cards and national
did soccer
questions.
do,
National
Ryan?
questions.
best place you ate at in Cleveland.
I can't remember the name of it. So we had a little gathering on Saturday. Gosh, what was the name of the place? Hang on, you gotta let me look now. Hang on. Cleveland.
I know it wasn't what Maria's or whatever. I know that because that's
No, it wasn't Mexican. What was the name of this place? Now you got me going to look. Here we go. Just saw it. It's called Burntwood Tavern. It was Burntwood Tavern. It's actually where we hosted our little gathering event where we cater to we had about 45, 50 people there, all you can eat and drink. And holy crap, I did not expect it was buffet style food. And we were like, yeah, it's not a sports bar, but it's a restaurant bar or whatever. And we had like an outdoor thing. Holy crap, the food blew us all away. And I'm not just saying that because it was our event. I didn't have any expectation. I was like, we got to find a place we could all gather, hang out, food and drinks, beautiful atmosphere. And the food was phenomenal. Like I could not I literally would go back there in a heartbeat, but I don't think I'll ever go back to Cleveland. And I hope the National never goes back to Cleveland. So, did not eat any good Mexican that I recall. We went to, we ate this something Buffalo place. It was whatever, but I don't know. It's just food situation was not ideal there. Just because you're everywhere.
It'd be nice if it never left Chicago again.
It would be nice 3 years in a row, but we'll see where it goes after that. That's the biggest question right now, is where they're looking at for 20, was it 5, 6, 7, 8? It was 28 they're looking at.
Yeah.
And I've heard rumors of, and again, I don't know if this will stick, Detroit, Atlanta, or somewhere in Texas is what I'm hearing.
Texas would be okay.
Texas would be the most ideal, in my opinion. Obviously, not knocking. Atlanta can hold it with the international airport and stuff. I'm not a fond of going to Atlanta again, but who am I? I don't get to say. Detroit, I've never been, so I'm not going to say anything, obviously, because I don't know. But Dallas or Houston would be ideal. I think a lot of international flights there too, and it's centralized. The only thing is, it's probably hotter than balls that time of year in July.
It would be, but
so is Chicago.
Yeah,
Did you get a vote for Detroit here?
I said,
does Vinny get to vote for Detroit here?
Yeah, I figured you probably liked it.
We could put up tents in our backyard. I'd save you on the hotel lodging.
Again, that's just a rumor I heard. Again, that is nothing of anything. It's just California will not happen. I can see. No, it should. But I think what could happen in Chicago is that it actually is going to outgrow the Donnelly Stevens, but they can go to McCormick Center, which is even bigger, which is probably going to be the next steps. I think it needs to stay in Chicago. Again, I'm not just saying that because I'm 5 hours away, but I think ideally the best situation, the area around it, everything of that nature. But I think they are going to outgrow Donnelly Stevens in the next 2 years. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing on the table. If the National continues to grow at the rate it's going, it can't, these areas can't, like Cleveland cannot contain it. We were just there in 2008. It was night and day, the amount of people and what you saw, what you witnessed. Essentially they couldn't charge parking. So they charged parking the first day. I don't know if you guys heard about this. So on Wednesday, they were charging parking. So there was a line, and this is sneak peek VIP day. And there's I'm sure you guys have seen the videos, the cars lined up just all the way out to the highway and people just getting out of their cars. So apparently the National Guard, from what I heard, called them and said, here's the deal. You're backing this up to the highway that's affecting the airport. We don't care. You're not charging. You're getting these people through, or we got a problem. So then after that, every day it was free. They lost so much money on parking. It was unreal because they had no choice. I'm sure the National had to eat that, obviously, but they, after that, you didn't really have to wait in long line. It was the first night on Wednesday. I left at 6:30 because I had to be to this Tops dinner event thing. And it was at like 7:30, I think. And my guys were going to go straight to Panini from the show that started at 9, I think, and the show ended at 8. They called me at 8:30, and they're like, Ryan, we're not going. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we've been sitting in the car for 30 minutes. We haven't moved. And they're not too far from the exit. It took almost an hour to get out of there on Wednesday, just to get out of the parking lot to leave. So that was a cluster. After that, things got better. The biggest drawbacks were inside the show. If you wanted to eat food, you waited in line for 45 minutes, then you waited another 30 minutes for your food. It was insane. They didn't even have enough food, enough staff. I heard that hotels didn't even have enough towels, that they were running out of toilet paper, that it was just – and the things I've heard is just wild, because the problem is everybody gets a room and 4 or 5 people split a room for 2 people room. Right. Just the capacity of everything. So it was wild. It was not the Cleveland I remembered, obviously, but excuse me. It hits me hard these days.
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah.
Biggest card you picked up for yourself biggest card you or the team picked up for the shop?
Oh, God, make me think
It
here.
could already be gone. The shop one could be gone, but like, it's
They
something
got
you
me
might have
thinking.
found for like your PC or something. Like I didn't expect to see this like stumble across.
I already prearranged it, but I picked up. Let me find the picture here. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going through here. It's probably best if I go back towards what I pick up around my National Post. At least it helps me a little bit. Let me go find this guy. So I prearranged this to get that. That one I was pretty pumped to get.
Yeah.
That was one of the big ones that I had scheduled to get. Let me look here. Oh, did I pick those? No, I didn't pick those up there. Well, technically these were technically part of it. All three of those.
From Anthony, right?
Yeah, I got those. Yep. That was
That
one
has
big
been-
deal.
That has been like the craziest collection I've
Dude,
seen.
nuts. Well, I sat down with him for an hour on Sunday at the National, and I already bought the two brown ones, but he didn't want to sell the black one at the time, and I had to sit down with him, and we shot the shit for like an hour, and then finally got the deal done because I really wanted that black one. So
Yeah.
I'm just looking at my pictures here. The problem is we keep going in the motion, and we just don't get the post. Probably my favorite pickup was coming home to that. That was awesome. That was after being gone and John. Got to have John on there. That's why my wife put that one there. So I'm just trying to think. Let's see here. What I posted that. Man, I never got around to really posting a lot of it, and I think I'm still behind on posting stuff I picked up. It's just so you guys know how that week goes. It's kind of a blur. You gotta forget things. Crap.
Yeah, days run together.
Yeah, it's like the week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks, because you're prepping. You're so excited. It's like Christmas. Yes, now you're on the road or you're flying there. Boom. Yes. Now we're here.
Yeah.
Now the days they can be 48 hours long, and it's still not long enough. Because you're always going, and there's always so much. You see us, you see Dazzler, you see Rob Men 9, you see Sweepa. Then you got to do business. Then you start seeing other people out of your maybe people that traveled up from the Lou. It's like you're constantly going. That it's never a stop, and I don't think people. We've talked about it. If you're not used to pretty much getting up 6, 7 in the morning, and again, this is on short sleep too.
Oh yeah,
every day, because you're not sitting there like, oh man, I have to go to bed at 8. No, that doesn't equate in any equation.
No, you're absolutely right.
You eat maybe a decent continental breakfast, or maybe a Pop-Tart or whatever the hell it is, the Bob Lewis Captain Crunch, and then go, and then you're on your way, and then it's like as soon as you park, it's like the adrenaline hits every day. You're just like, okay,
it does, man.
It's go time, let's go. And you don't stop, and then because we spent, like we said, we fucking spent how much time sitting in the lobby, just because that's where everybody was chatting.
Yeah,
I mean, that was one of the quote unquote regrets, because I didn't get to traverse where Yo Show Your Hits was. He was down some aisleway in Chicago, and there's a green plush carpet floor area. I didn't even see that area. Didn't even go over there. But I mean, it's just like you sit there, and I hadn't met half the people that I met in 2011 the last time I was there, or people I met at the pre-national shows. So it's like I want to see cards, but in reality, what am I gonna for the main collections? What Brad took a picture of a McCown finite prism somebody had in Cleveland, and he's like, I didn't expect to be sending you a Josh McCown picture from the National. I didn't expect you to be sending me one either. $300 for that. That seems really steep. But the guy sold it on eBay after the show for like $227. So
Yeah.
well, hey, good for you, because that's
Good for you. That's more than you want to pay for Josh. That's not Dennis Northcutt for crying out loud.
now maybe we start the conversation. But Josh Johnson, that's always a price. Well,
Yeah.
except the super that time. But it's like we were so busy with like the talking, which that's what we wanted though. It's like
Yeah.
you're building all these relationships. Steve, who hasn't been to a card show of that magnitude since seeing you guys down at the TriStar one, it's like you want to sit there and take all that in because that's what we're about. But then you don't want to sit there and like sort of brush people off because then if anybody catches the show, well, hey, you guys are always talking about relationships. Now all of a sudden it's like you're into the cards. Well, no, but we preface that a lot of the time before the show.
Oh yeah.
It's like we wanted to see you and Neil, and to a lesser extent your other employees, because we don't know them as well, obviously.
No, I get it. No, I get it. Of course, you know Tyson, but I mean, it's different.
Tyson,
Yeah,
Tyson's
he'll be at he won't be working it, but he'll be there next year at Nashville because it's being Chicago. You know, it's easier for them to get up there. It's only 4.5 hours away, so we just gotta orchestrate with staff and say, look, hey, we want to make sure you all get the opportunity to go. We all need to sit down and figure out scheduling so we're not left high and dry here because everybody wants to go to the National. That's the biggest thing is we don't want to, take away from anybody that wants to go. So, but sorry, go back to your point. My bad.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, it's like we wanted to see you guys say, hey, how'd yesterday go? Everything good? And that's usually where we saw somebody, Joey. Midlife Card Crisis, Big Scott, Dazzle. All the other ones we mentioned were Rob Mednine and Motown Billy Sweepa. That's like you knew if you were a YouTuber, we had already put out like that sort of like APB. Like that's the place to go. And if you're there at some point during the day, we'll guarantee you'll run into somebody else because that's where it was when your first national. That's where we were at. It's like go to your guys' booth if you wanted to just BS chat, look through some boxes, and then we'd have all those pictures there. But that's with you guys. I can't imagine how tough that is being pulled in so many directions. And it's like I want to talk to you guys, but I also know we got to make hay, sun shining bright. Got to make hay, and then afterwards too, which we've talked about, and you never have to apologize. It's like it's got to be nice to have a dinner with you guys, but at the same time, we know you've got your industry commitments to like the Tops, the Panini.
No, that's why when we do if you guys stay till Saturday, stay till Sunday, you guys will go. We used to do like Morton's usually in Chicago. We're gonna go a different approach. We liked the approach of what we did last time. So we're going to look for something more of that magnitude where it's bigger and more open, inviting, and more relaxed atmosphere, not so much fine setting in a dark area room. And don't get me wrong, I love Morton's Steakhouse, but it's just not, it was different. It was just awesome. Everybody got along with everybody, and that's hopefully you guys can make it. We'd love to have you at that event. That's the night where Alex Army ATC was made an appearance for about an hour and a half because he had to go to another thing, and it was good to just catch up to some people and just more or less just shoot the shit with people. You didn't have to talk about nobody. The thing is, like, we went there, like, we weren't even talking about cards, just getting together, talking, and, hanging out. I look forward. That's my favorite night of the National once it starts because it's our event and we don't rush to it. We tell everybody, hey, this is going to be a little later because we've been going the whole week. We want to go back, shower, everybody's got to get ready, but then we want to have a great night. We will have hopefully a place run until midnight, 1:00, and we all can just hang out and just be friends and just chat. And that's the best part of the National. Like you hit on the nose. It's just relationships and the opportunities. And that's why when I don't have to go to dinner events and things like that, I want to take those opportunities to hang out with people like you guys and people that I care about in this hobby that I do call friends, because it used to be different back in the day. It used to not be such grind, go, hard work. It was laid back. And I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great with what we're able to do financially now, but at the same token, it took away from what the experience for Nashville was for Neil and I. And I think, you guys might stay a little bit as well on your end because of the amount of people and the things have changed. Because I remember back in the day, we'd all go together and we'd all be 20, 30 people deep. And we'd be the whole bar of that area, like at the hotel, having dinner, hanging out. It'd be all night, every night. And you didn't have to worry about anybody else because there just wasn't that many people there compared to what it is now. And, it's, back then we would work the show all day and we do that. Now I was younger, but, at the same token, you weren't exhausted when you left the National. You weren't exhausted. Like it wasn't what it is now. Like you're mentally, physically drained. Not only just us, but you guys as well.
It's because we're old.
Yeah, it's old. I think a lot of it is old. And yeah. Can't you see all the gray hair I'm growing these days with this beard I got going? Geez, it's coming out good too. So
that's called children.
Yes.
Yeah, children, stress, business, everything like that. Yes. And
no, that's children. That's children.
That's children, yeah. Funny. So, yeah.
Trying to think what else.
Hit me.
Well,
yeah, about 10 more minutes. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
He already told us he broke last year's record. So,
Will
we see a return of value boxes?
No, okay, so breaking news. Obviously, breaking news. So our normal Chicago spot that we've been in area, the hot corner, hot spot, whatever you want to call it, is no longer in existence. They have gotten rid of that whole area. They're now going to use that as a big table, chairs area for people to hang out at and stuff. So when you walk into the main doors of the building from outside, like actual physical outside, you would always go to the left and you would go into the room, right? Mm-hmm. Well, now you have 3 ways to get in. You can go left, you can go straight, or you can go right. And it all gets everything. We are now to the right in this new room that started last year, which apparently was really good from everything I heard. And we're going to be right there to the right, but we're going to be around MC Spoets Cards, Indie Card Exchange, Sports Card Junction, Matt Canada, Griffey Cards, a bunch of the more modernized people who do use social media and our hobby shops and stuff like that. We're all going to be in this area over here to the right. Real easy to get to, and I'm liking our spots. So unfortunately, our hot corner that's always been is no longer, which is unfortunate. But at the end of the day, change isn't a bad thing. And I don't think it matters where you're at in the National. I think if you just have the right stuff and your price right. So the reason why we won't have the bargain boxes is because obviously the cost to do it all, to be there. The biggest steal in the National, in my opinion, is the tables. We get booths for $1,300. That is highway robbery. That is the biggest steal of the National for us. And booth is 2 8-foots and a 6-foot table. Unfortunately, we're only allowed to buy 2 booths. That's the max we can get per our priority number, per whatever. So we have limited amount of space. Now, the spot run this year, I like because, and now I don't know what's going on with it, but we have nobody connecting to us. We have our own section. So I think we're going to get a little more space, which means we can bring a little bit more, do more things, and something we're doing that we haven't done in years. And I said I would never do it again. However, obviously you guys know I'm big in the wrestling, and I love the wrestling cards, and it's fun. It's awesome. The biggest scrape I heard last year was there's no good wrestling boxes, let alone any in this entire National. So everybody knows to come for us wrestling. We're going to have our wrestling singles, and behind the booth, there's going to be a table set up with boxes and cases of wrestling people to buy. So like Prism, Topps Chrome, whatever you name it, if it's WWE related, we're going to have it behind, because I know so many people are like, I want to rip wrestling, but all I can find in the room is Chronicles, and that's it. And they're like, not on the Chronicles, but I want to rip Prism, I want to rip Select, I want to rip Immaculate, and nobody has it. So we're going to be able to bring that stuff too. I just bought the business a Ford Transit about a month ago. So now we can get things around bigger and do things. So we'll be using that for the national, and I'll use it to Chicago and stuff like that. So getting the stuff in there is not an issue anymore. And so we were going to go that route. But the bargain box stuff, as much as I'd love to bring it back, it's cost efficient. The amount of table space you use there, I'm sure we could sell a ton through it. But man, it's just those display cases, the setup, the theft is so minimal. Like, I'll be honest with you, knock on wood, since we've gone to our new format, new thing of doing it, we've not had theft in years. And I know in bargain boxes, you just get raided and there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's just going to happen. I mean, unless you're going to sit there and watch somebody like a hawk, they're going to get stolen from. And it's pretty sad if you got to steal cards out of bargain boxes in the day and age of the hobby now, but it is what it is. So we will maybe one day if I were able to get another booth or two, but I don't foresee us bringing them back because, I mean, I'll be honest with you, man, anything $5 and up is inventoried already on our website and our store, you know, and that's, to me, it's like, I can't bring that stuff because it's inventoried. If it gets sold there, chances are it's going to get mixed up. It's going to get stolen. You know, that's the stuff that you can go to our website and buy any time of the year. If you go to Holiday Mania coming in, starting Black Friday at the end of the year, all singles on my website, no matter what they are, 20% off for the rest of the year. You know, that's when you go in there and find some really good deals, because I could have things there that, you know, I'm not going to go back and price them. So if a guy gets hot like a Sam Darnold Prism Silver Rookies on my website for right now for $10 and I don't know it, you know, either you go hit it now or you go pay $8. Then who knows? I don't even know. So, but yeah, we're going to stick to the format we've been doing it, but we're definitely going to go $50 and up versus the $100. We thought the $50 and up was a good sweet spot, and because you are limited on space, you want to have what we did best with is we had a really, really good backstock that got us through 2 or 3 days. I didn't do as much buying as I do in the past national, but it got to the last few days. We were getting so many holes. And we brought so much. It was so many holes last, like, down by Friday. It was starting to get decimated. That John at one point's like, you bought some deals. You're buying some now. Sit back there. We got all the customers. Start pricing his cards. As soon as I was pricing his cards and handing it to him, there were times that he couldn't even put the card in the case and be like, hey, what is that? Oh, I'll take that. Don't put that in there. It was crazy. Like, so I've got to get back to my grassroots of, if I start buying on Wednesday and I buy Wednesday, I just need to sit back there and just price and just go to town and buy and throw it out. You know, the only way I do consider pricing coming is if he's going to be our buyer, because he has become a rock star at buying for the shop. So that is a possibility that he could come only to be our lead buyer and just give him a section to buy at like the booth or something. That is on my mind. He's been great at it. It's unreal how well he's been doing with it. But I know at the National, it's a lot different. You have to compete with so many other dealers. And the people we're ideally buying from are people we already know and deal with that just want to deal with us, you know. And it's, you know, it's like David Stotty brought me a group, and it's just a lot of people that I've known through the years that I know. Now, some people we didn't know we dealt with, which is great. You know, you do a few deals every now and then, but most people you want to deal with them, the ones that you know, because they know, hey, we don't expect you to pay us 90%. Like, we know you're going to sell for 80. We know your prices, Ryan. We don't expect you to pay us $90 on the card yet. That's $100 because we know you're going to take $90. So we're cool with $75, $80 or 70%, 80. You know, as long as people understand that, then that's the best part of buying, is that, like, they understand the cost that goes into it. The biggest cost for me is, like I told you guys, isn't the booze, the hotels, my staff, you know, food, you know, yeah, we get wine and dine a few 2 or 3 nights, but, you know, just getting 3 hotels for 6 guys adds up. Paying my staff to be there, and I take care of them. If we have a great national, I make sure they get bonuses, you know, even though John, I do all the buying, I do a lot of pricing, and John prices with me because he's a madman and he's a rock star with me. But these guys are kicking their butt year round for us, and then they're there kicking the whole time. They're there selling. They're there talking to customers, selling. You know, they deserve a piece of the pie. So the business has a great show. They have a great show, and I hope that continues, because I want to continue to take care of them when we have great nationals and keep breaking records. So,
well, Holiday Mania coming up right before Thanksgiving. Probably announcements will be trickling out, and then I'm sure RBICRU7 on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, MySpace, MSN Messenger, AOL, whatever else is out there. I'm sure that'll be going till what, Christmas, or is that till New Year's?
Kicks off.
The website after New Year's sometimes.
Yeah, so it will run through New Year's, and sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get things off. So depending on how the week goes, little sneak peek. I have to manually go in and do all that stuff, and if it's a lot of products, now doing singles is easy. I just set a format thing, and I go 20% off these sections. Boom, done. Right. So when it comes to all these products, I have to go. And now we're going to have a little thing that says like Holiday Mania versus me putting it in the title, but I have to go in and physically add that, and then I have to go manually change the prices. So a sneak peek, I will probably start doing price changes Monday or Tuesday leading up to, and I'll be doing it through Thanksgiving, because the last thing I want to do is on Thanksgiving night is I'm up at midnight still doing that, because again, I could delegate out to other people, but it's a lot of responsibility. If one thing goes wrong, I'd feel bad if somebody messed up, and they'd feel bad as well. So it's like, I get to determine how many of those units we want to make available at that price, and I just want to make sure there's no errors and done correctly. So Holiday Mania does kick off Black Friday. However, it will start early in the week. I've learned the more I do this. I was telling my wife the other day, because we're now going to Orlando at the beginning of November, end of like the day after Halloween. We're going to Orlando for fall break for 4 or 5 days. I'm actually going to stop by Fanatics Fest, but that's not why we're going. We always go like to Great Wolf Lodge and do stuff with the kids, and we're like, let's start looking. So we started looking. I think we're going to get Universal, and we're going to probably go to maybe Disney. I don't want to take like the whole Disney experience, but I definitely want to take Parker to see Star Wars, because he's going to love that, and that's going to be awesome. So I think we're going to stay by Universal, and then we're going to look into some other stuff to do out there. But we're going to go there from Friday, come back Tuesday, and then I leave now the 16th of November for the Vikings-Titans game. I just bought tickets. My wife and I, my buddy's 40th, and his wife, he's also a Vikings fan. They're Vikings fans. We're going to go that Saturday, come back Monday. The game's on Sunday, but my birthday's that Monday. So it's his 40th, but it's my birthday weekend as well. So it's like, hey, what a perfect opportunity. Nashville's only 5 hours from us. So then there's that. Well, then I get back that Monday. I'll return to work Tuesday and leave Thursday for Chicago to do the Chicago show. And then the week after that. So it's like, I think I have to start prepping the products, knowing what we're doing in October, to have my list done before we get to November, and then start pricing in November and pre-pricing. So then I can be ready, because that's the biggest thing is I do Chicago the week before, and I should be prepping things then. So I have to pre-prep. So I'll tell you right now, my inventory in Chicago is going to suck, and I'm going with the least amount of inventory because I don't have time to price a lot of stuff, and I got to put emphasis on the Holiday Mania, which is very important for our business. So it's not the fun stuff I like to do in cards, but it's necessary for the business. So
the grunt work that needs to be done.
It's got to be done, but it's every year we have some crazy specials. Vin went on and he said he bought a bunch of stuff before. It'll be loaded again this year, man. I go through and determine what I have a lot of, and really do a deep dive into the pricing to really try to price the absolute best we can, and just take a bloodbath and things and just move on, and just, hey, everybody's happy. They feel like they got a great deal. We make money, but at the end of the day, you lose money. It's a way of business. So you just you never know.
One last thing, and then we'll get you out of here. Anything at the shop that you're seeing that's surprising you, or stuff that doesn't exist that people ask about? Like, hey, do you have any? For me, it's always softball. I'm like, I think that the collegiate softball is an untapped market. Not like a huge market. It's not going to be gargantuan, but it's something that I'd love to see more of. I know the Athletes Unlimited have their in like the multi-sport. I think this past year they came out. I think with more of a Topps Direct type thing where it was like 4 packs. You got like 2 autos and 2 or 3 numbered in like a box. But anything like that where people are surprising you and just like asking for stuff that, 10 years ago I wouldn't have thought this would have been a thing, or even 5 years ago.
I will say the Topps Chrome Olympic product went over tremendously well. It's a very good product. It was loaded and it was a great price point. So that one, I went heavy on that because it had the word Chrome in it. And I'm glad I did. That one turned out to be a very profitable one for us. The biggest one, and you guys could probably think about this. I never thought I'd hear the words. When are you going to have Prism WNBA? When are you going to have all these Caitlin Clark cards? When's WNBA coming? And we're talking just not girls. It's guys galore. Like, it's like WNBA now is everybody wants it. And it's like, who would have thought, that would come about? But it's the crazy thing about it. I was telling somebody this the other day. It's like, even though Caitlin Clark is what everybody's doing, this is a loaded class. But at the end of the day, who would really know this is a loaded class if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark? We could, they could have been loaded classes. In the past years, we knew Sabrina Ionescu was going to be great. And she is, but it's good to see from that magnitude, especially, a father, and you got to know this, they have a daughter, it's awesome to see that. And it's going to bring more girls into the hobby and into the shops, which is what we're hoping. It really drives them in. And it's just the stepping stone. If they can get into WNBA cards, then it's going to be harder to get other things. Obviously, we bring in the women's UEFA, and that does well. But it's the Athletes Unlimited did not do well. It bombed miserably. It failed miserably, and it wasn't done right. And they should have done a paper stock, but that's beyond the point. The thing is, the Athletes Unlimited, there's no way unless you're getting on to subscribe or watch the stuff. Like, you turn on the TV, Caitlin Clark's out there, Angel Reese is out there, all these girls, you're hearing all this stuff, social media all over. So I think that's going to drive a lot of it and what she's done this year. But I just feel like it's crazy the amount of people that are like, when's this coming? When's this coming? When's this coming? When's this coming? I got a text today from one of my customers. He's like, are you getting select WBA? I'm assuming. I'm like, guys, I'll order as much as I'm allowed. Like, I'll get as max possible because I know it's gonna be such a hit. It's gonna be a hit, man. It's like her Indiana Fever cards that her ones actually are in it are like stupid money from like the National, like $50 for like a base Chrome one. It's gonna be wild. But yeah, that's the thing that I think is gonna be the big hot thing when it comes out. And I never thought I'd say that.
Yeah, it's wild to see the publicity she's still getting. And again, it's not like she's done horse shit in the WNBA. She's probably exceeded most people's expectations. So
she started slow, but I was like, it's probably going to happen. It's a transition, and then next thing you know, the rest is history.
Well, Christ, she's been playing. You're playing for Iowa. You're playing basically all 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. You're taking 30+ shots. Mm-hmm. You're defending the best player. You're making a deep run in the tournament, and then you basically turn around and, hey, WNBA starting. Let's go.
And I think Indiana played 9 times in the first 11 days of the season.
Yeah, it was like insane.
Yeah, it's nuts,
you have a couple week or 3-week break for the Olympics, but if you played basketball basically from September the year before to July straight, I don't care what age you are, that's a lot.
It's a lot on a person for sure.
So, her starting off cold, that's fine. Again, plus you got to get used to a new coach, new teammates,
new everything. New comfortability, everything of that nature.
So I'm glad she found her footing, and now the national scene and people like Stephen A. Smith can shut the fuck up and get pushed off the bridge and never to be seen again.
I agree.
Yeah. But thank you, Ryan, taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, because again, we know how a whirlwind of an existence you live. That go, and then you slow down just to go again. to speed
I said
off.
I would have done last Tuesday, but it was Parker's birthday, and I was like, I think it's being his birthday. I think we had a game, and it was actually a good thing I did. I was dead tired after I got home from work and rushing in the game and stuff. So, but no, I'm happy to do it. Maybe you guys can get Neil on next month, and he can do this, and stay up late. I mean, his kid goes to bed much earlier than my kids do, so don't keep pushing him. He ain't got much of an excuse. Just say, Neil, you need to come on. Just you come on, whatever works best for you. Get him on.
And I've told him that. I said, I know it's probably more comfortable for him to come on with you because, again, over the years, the people that know you two know you talk more. And again, that's okay.
It's Jay and Silent Bob. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Neil was always in the background.
Yeah.
Next time,
he
next
is mine.
next time, just tell him if you don't come on, Ryan's gonna dock your paycheck.
If you get Neil on by himself, he will chat up with you guys. He talks. He's fine. Like he's just. Again, he just prefers to let me talk, and that's fine. He knows I like to talk, but at the end of the day, if you got Neil on, he would be just as talkful and chatty tonight as I am. Maybe not that much, but about half of it at least, So
I know. And I'll keep pushing because I like getting him on there too, because just to hear his thoughts, opinions.
Tell him to chug 2 beers before he gets on. Then you get a real chatty Neil. Seriously, he will chat you up.
Jim Harbaugh.
Just tell him Ryan's gonna dock his paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows that. He'll call the bluff on that. My CPA is his CPA. He'll make sure that doesn't happen. So it runs my payroll as well. So
it's worth a try.
Yeah, he'll come on. He will. He will, dude. He's got a lot more time in his hands than I do. That's a damn. I mean, he's got one kid. He's young. He's almost 3, but I mean, he's about to get into sports and stuff. So he's got more time, and it's about to get the time of year where everybody's bundled up in the house. He's got more time on his hands. Don't stay on him, Dave. Stay on him. If you tell me to get on him, I will.
There's about 5 or 6 I keep telling, hey, you got to come on. Just chat. Oh, I don't know what I want to say. I don't know what to do. If we're doing it, it ain't hard.
Yeah, if we can do it, he can do it.
We're not like technological wizards out here. So, I mean, we figured out, guess what, you can too. I mean, yes, there's some hiccups, but most of the time it's pretty cut and dry clear. So, but thank you again. I know, again, like we said, you're busier than all fucking hell all the time. So for you to make time for us, we always appreciate that. Congrats on the news. I'm geeked.
Awesome.
I'm geeked for you. That's insane. Because then that puts you in that. Again, we've said it before. You might not have down in Atlanta with that goofus down there that everybody loves so much. You have the desire, you have the knowledge, you have the drive, the fortitude. You'll put in the sweat equity, and you've always done it. So I mean, that's no matter what, you'll always be at the top of that mountain. So when good things happen to you guys, it's like good things happen to our kids or people we love too. So I mean, that's it. I speak for everyone. We're fucking stoked to hear that news.
Thank you.
Cannot wait to get down to the 3rd iteration of RBI Crew. Going to the first one where the Harlem Shake was, and people are trying to squeeze past each other.
That's right.
And now this one where it's bigger, but again, you're always in need of room, and this will hopefully, after all the layout and all the planning's done, you get the space you want, the need, where you can do what you hope to accomplish, and hopefully opening day, some of us might make the trip down there. Just don't make it in the fucking middle of winter, like a big celebration.
It won't be the big winter. It will not be. It'll be spring or summer. I don't know yet. Right now, I'm not. I was shocked when they told me potentially March by opening. They feel confident, so I'm not holding my breath right now, but because I know how stuff goes. But again, I hired Seth Rollins' architect team. We'll see. They're there from. I hired them to be start to finish, basically I don't really have to be hands-on. Shannon's really been a lot with this too, which has taken a lot off me. So I feel like it's a lot of extra stress off me going forward, except the stress of my wallet. So that's different. But yeah, no, I mean, it comes to that stuff, they feel confident because I couldn't be getting an indoor build at the right time with winter coming. Contractors are going to be aching for a job like this, and they're going to be competitive bidding. We're getting about 5 bids, from my understanding, from all top-of-the-notch reliable contractors. And my architects are going to sit down and basically say, here's these offers. Here's what we think would be the best one for you. Again, they're there from start to finish, and that's good to know, especially for the responsibilities I had to work day in and day out, not just work but dad and husband and everything else like that. So I'm just all I keep thinking to myself is like, I just want to boom and it's done. It's like, I just want this to be over with, and we're so far away, but so more closer than I realized, because I can't believe we're closing here.
You're gonna blink and it's gonna be done.
Yeah. I know, and it's and I'm excited. I can't even, it hasn't even settled, and I don't think, because maybe when I sign the contract, I'll start settling in. I already have the keys to it because we're past contingency. But again, there's only so much I can do with her still being there. But it's fine, dude. I'm telling you, when you guys see the place, the location, everything, it is perfect for everything that we want to do, and it was worth the 55 days from the moment we made an offer to get them to sign. That was a nightmare. We ended up paying Josh Johnson 55. Yeah, to me, Kenny Powers is 55. We'll go with Josh Johnson. Yeah, so essentially, that was not fun, and we ended up having to pay more than what they were asking, and to get the deal done, it was stupid. There's a lot to it, man. It was frustrating, but it was worth it. At the end of the day, we still felt like we got the right place and we got a good deal on it. And I think what we can do with it is what's massive, and what we can do for the community and for the hobby, I think is the most exciting part about it. And I truly mean that. So,
well, I know you'll keep updating on Insta and probably Facebook too, and
yep,
as plans go along, and I'm sure we'll message you at some point in time and get some updates as things keep progressing. Hopefully April, May, since that's not snowy months. That'll be
we're gonna look more of like April, May is probably when I got to look into scheduling and stuff like that. So again, just gotta see how the contract goes. But yeah, we're hurt. Just 2 days of just doing my job on top of his Neil's, and it's just wearing me out, man. Yeah, but we'll keep everybody posted on all that stuff, and we'll make all the announcements we need to, so everybody knows. So
if you're still listening, RBICRU7 Cards, St. Peters, Missouri. Look them up if you're completely unfamiliar. You live under a rock. You don't know what cards are. You've never seen us before. If you stumbled across and you've watched this long, I'm sorry. But yeah, look them up. And all the social media platforms, I'm sure you guys are somewhere in there. Somebody's shown something to you guys if you're not on there. So, Mr. Ryan Bannister, thank you again.
Very welcome. Thank you, guys.
So, for Michael, Vinny, Steve, and Ryan, I'm Dave. This has been the Instant Revolution podcast. Remember, collecting cards, a wonderful hobby. The friendships you forge along the way, that's what really matters. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Night.